Hey, good morning, everybody. Dan here, just another flipper. I'm making my first video in probably a couple months. The Christmas season just seemed to fly right by, and I am a very part-time flipper, and I only do this for maybe a few hours a day, if that. And Christmas season and my other job is extremely busy, and I don't get a lot of opportunity to spend time listing. So my listing was way down right now, and I need to get back on that. But I did have steady sales throughout Q4. I am down from last year, and I don't expect to catch that up in the next couple days. Today is Thursday, the 28th. Orders are still coming in, but not crazy busy, which is good because I'm still kind of on the Christmas hangover. So I'm going to go ahead and show you the items that I have going out today. These are orders that have come in from, I believe, Christmas Eve up until now. I did ship out 10 orders the other day that were due on the day after Christmas and the 27th, and I have some that are overdue from yesterday and some that are due today and tomorrow that I'm going to go ahead and show you what I sold. So thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. Consider liking the video, and if you have questions or comments, go ahead and put them down below. I really appreciate it. I'm very new to this. At last check, I had 18 subscribers, which is nothing. So there's probably only a few of you watching this. So feedback is greatly appreciated. I'm going to try to be a little bit more consistent with making videos. So let's go ahead and see what I sold. All right, the first item is off of my secondary eBay store. It's actually not a store, it's just an eBay selling page. I am liquidating my lifelong collection of Boston Red Sox baseball cards and memorabilia. So I sold this item from that eBay location. This is the McFarlane Jason Varitek with umpire. Very cool figure. Not rare, but harder to find than the regular figures. And it's just really cool. Varitek, of course, a Red Sox icon. Could very well be the next Red Sox manager. And the umpire is a cool feature, too, that looks great when it's actually out of the package and displayed with other figures. This one sold for $59. I had a few offers come in prior to selling it at full price. It is a tough one, and it sells regularly when there are some listed. So I know that I made money on this. I probably paid between $30 and $40 when I bought it originally. Again, I was buying it for a personal collection. So most of these things I'm just trying to recoup my money, and if I make money on them, great. But I have thousands and thousands of Red Sox items, and I haven't been listing. So this is the only thing I've sold in the last week on the store. When I do list, I do sell because I have some really cool stuff. So this one, again, $59 plus shipping. All right, so my next sale is an Xbox video game. I have not sold an Xbox game in a long time. These I've had for probably about a year. I got them at yard sales back in 2022. I bought a huge box of video games for $50. I know I've already doubled my money at least, and I have a ton left. So mostly low dollar games. This one is Xbox Sega GT 2002. I believe it's a Xbox exclusive, and it's actually made by Sega. This one sold for $11.95 plus shipping, so that's probably going to be one of the higher price games that I have of the video games I have. My thought is I'm probably going to try to wad up a bunch of games and try to move them, because I probably have another 75 to 100 video games in my death pile that I have to list as well. So I might just try to get everything together and do some lots and try to move some of the cheaper games that way. So again, $11.95 plus shipping. All right, next item, a little backstory on this one. Autograph, That's the Stuff. This is a 78 record, LP. Very cool record from the 80s. Love that album cover. Most famous for the song Turn Up the Radio, and that's about it. Interesting sidebar on this one. The buyer, immediately after purchasing it, I'm going to summarize their message to me, basically saying, I need you to ship this ASAP. I promised it to somebody by this day. Okay, first of all, eBay sellers, including myself, we have shipping policies. They are clearly listed in the auctions. Read them. Do not dictate to a seller that I need this by this date. First of all, I could have shipped it out 5 minutes after I still have to have it picked up by the post office, and they have to process it and get it sent out. And guess what? It's a record. It's going media mail. You paid for media mail shipping, which is basically 4 to 7 days. There's nothing I can do once it leaves my hand. I will ship it according to my shipping policies when it is due to be shipped, which is today. So it's going out today. I hope it gets to where it's going in time. If not, it's not my fault. Read the shipping policies when you buy something from somebody, okay? We have them for a reason. I'm very, very part-time. I ship on time about 90% of the time. I'm not perfect. I do get overdues, okay? But if you're buying something, you need to understand that there's a whole process to it getting from the seller to you. And that process takes time. So please understand that when you're buying from people on eBay, because it is important. This one, and I'm sorry, I'm unprepared here. This one sold for $10.99 plus media mail shipping. So buyer, I hope it gets to you when you want it, but if it doesn't, I'm sorry. Don't promise a delivery date to somebody that you're buying it for. All right, the next item I sold is a pair of men's, I believe they're size 13 sandals. These are Keen sandals. I picked these up at a yard sale with a bunch of other stuff really cheap. Some Tupperware, a $150 camera that I paid $1 for. She just had a lot of really cool stuff. These were thrown under the table, and you couldn't tell if they were belonged to somebody or if they were for sale. And I said, "Are you selling these?" She says, "Sure." And I said, "Okay, I'll take them." I mean, they're in really good condition. They're barely used. They're clean. They don't smell. I paid either $2 or $3 for them. I think it was $2, and I sold them for $23.70. It's actually less than I thought I would get. When I saw Keen, I thought they'd be good. I don't sell a lot of shoes and sneakers and boots. I pick up name brands when I find them, and usually if I can pay $1 or $2 for them, I no problem flipping a $2 item for $23.70 plus shipping. But not something you're going to sell in my state right now, but there's plenty of warm weather in other places, and somebody is either maybe going on a trip or they live in a warmer climate. I did not notice where these are going to. So $23.70 plus shipping for the Keen size 13 men's sandals. Okay, next item. This is 101 Popular Songs, Solos, and Duets Flute. This is a instruction manual with some songs and a couple of CDs for instruction. This originally retailed for $29.95. I got this in a huge lot of music books that I purchased. It was actually books, charts, CDs from a closed-up music store. I bought these roughly 2 years ago, I think. This was one of the first big purchases I made as a reseller. It was over 150 books and CDs, and I think I paid $60 for the whole thing. This one sold for $12.95. I probably sold about 40 or 50 of these books, and I'm way in the profit. I still have a bunch left, and I still have, I think, 20 or 30 that I haven't even listed. So I got to get back to listing those a little bit as well. What I may do is go back and group these up by instrument or classes of instruments and try to lot them up and move them a little bit quicker for a reduced price, because I'm kind of tired of looking at them. And the boxes that they're in are really heavy, and I don't like moving them. So again, $12.95 plus shipping on this 101 Popular Songs, Solos, and Duets for the flute. All right, next sale. This is, I believe it's Lido or Lado is how it's pronounced. Pollering for motor cars is what it says. It's a horse-drawn buggy that looks like it has a oil tank or a gas pump on it. This is just a neat little collectible. People like to use these when they have, whether it's a train layout. Some people build car layouts and things like that, and they like to have the scenery, and that's probably what this is for. This came in a lot of about 12 or 13 of these. I have 5 left, and I've probably doubled my money so far. This one only sold for $4.50. But again, when you buy it cheap and you're in the profit already, anything you sell at this point is good. So this one is one I've had for probably about 10 months to a year. So I'm getting down. Like I said, I have 5 left, and there were 12 or 13 of them when I purchased them. So $4.50 plus shipping on this one. All right, my next item. This is a lot of comic books. This is Conan Saga. This is a lot, I believe, of 22 issues, ranging from issues number, looks like, 2 through 53. These are all individually bagged. The condition is overall pretty good. This first one, of course, is the worst one. It has a few stains on it. These are, I believe, from the 1970s. Not super valuable. I tried doing an auction on these because I've been successful with a few other comic lots with auctions. And this one didn't get any bids 2 times around. And it was delisted. It wasn't listed after the second auction. And then I realized it the other day. I relisted it. And it sold right away at my buy it now price. So I now realize that I undersold these. I sold the whole lot for $26.95 plus shipping, which I'm okay with because I bought a humongous, probably between 3,000 and 5,000 comics for $200. And I now, with this sale, have probably come close to tripling my money, and I've barely scratched the surface with these things. I've been going through them. A lot of them are just a lot of the same series, and they're in great condition. And they are all individually bagged and boarded. So I'm going to do really well with them. So I'm okay with selling this because these, honestly, they're in old bags and they're kind of dirty. And I disclosed all that. I took pictures of every single one of them. So the buyer knows what they're getting. And I'm just happy to move these because I have so many. I need to start getting big lots out the door. So I currently have 4. I bought another smaller lot of comics of about 700 pieces. That did not turn out to be such a great deal. I'm lotting them up in random lots of 50, trying to sell them off for less than 50 cents a piece. So far, I don't have any bids on those. They end on Sunday, but I'm hoping to move some of those. But this one went for $26.95. If the buyer is buying them for a collection, he got a great deal. And if he's buying them to resell them individually, he should do well. I wasn't willing to do that with these particular ones. So that is a lot of times what I do when I buy these things. But when I had that quantity, I don't have time to break them down. So $26.95 plus shipping. All right, next item is a sports card. This was in a large lot of autographed and relic cards that I purchased about 6 months ago. I actually have listed a lot of them, but I still have a ton that I haven't listed that I'm actually going to send off to COMC. Check out my cards. If you're a card collector, you've probably heard of this company before. You send them your cards, you pay a 50-cent fee for them to photograph them, list them, and basically store them. And you set your own price, and then they sell it, they ship it, you don't have to do anything with it. I'm going to try that out for the ones I haven't listed. Those will tend to be the better value cards that I currently have in the cards that I have not listed already on eBay. So this one came from that lot. It's a Roy Jones Jr. Allen and Ginter relic of some sort. I don't know if it's from his robe. It's just a red swatch. I'll show it a little bit closer here. Sorry for the shadows. All right, now the glare. All right, it's one of the better ones that I got in that lot. This one sold for $22 plus shipping. This will go in a plain white envelope. It has the top loader. I put the painter's tape on the top to secure the card so it doesn't slide out of the holder. That's a really good idea if you sell a lot of sports cards to do that. It does save the cards because if you do ship a lot of plain white envelope stuff, it's going to move around in that envelope and it might slide out and damage the corners. So this was one of the better ones from that lot. $22 plus shipping. All right, the next item is a comic book from the big comic book buy that I spoke about a few minutes ago. This is The Amazing Spider-Man. It is number 101. It's a second print variant, and it's the first appearance of Morbius. It's from 1992, the year I graduated high school. Very, very nice condition. It's in bagged and boarded. This is how all of them came, and this is the condition they were all in. Just really, really nice. Just ignore the post-it note. That's my SKU method. But this one sold for $17.99. So I do have some really good ones that are worth selling individually. To me, $17.99 is definitely worth selling because it's an easy lister and an easy shipper. So $17.99 plus shipping out of that big comic book buy. All right, so I've been packing as I go here this morning, and I kind of screwed up on this one. And this one was a little difficult pack, so I didn't want to stop it once I got it started. I'll show a picture of this up on the side of the screen here. It is a old-fashioned vintage Holiday Accents Christmas tree topper light in the shape of a star. You can tell it's vintage. It's in the original package. I actually sold this for my dad. He had a bunch of old Christmas decorations that he asked me to sell for him. I actually listed it last Christmas, meaning Christmas of 2022, and it did not sell. And then it sold right before Christmas. I think on the 22nd or 23rd it sold. So this one actually went for $17.99. Again, I apologize. I'm just showing you the box here. But if you look at the picture, you can tell it's a pretty cool item. It's vintage, you can tell for sure. Multicolors, just has that 70s look to it. So $17.99 plus shipping. All right, next item. This is an Avon watch. It's a heart-shaped watch. Sorry for the shadows here. The lighting in here is terrible. And I have it upside down, so that doesn't help either. It's like a heart-shaped locket on a watch. Very cool, made by Avon. This actually came from my dad as well. He used to be an Avon dealer, and he had a lot of leftover inventory after he retired. And it actually sells pretty good. A lot of people say Avon doesn't sell. I've sold a ton of Avon stuff for him on eBay. So bottles, I wouldn't recommend getting Avon perfume bottles. Those don't sell unless you can get them in a big lot for really, really cheap, because they don't sell. And if they do sell, they don't sell for a lot. But old perfumes and colognes and jewelry and things like that do tend to do okay, at least for me anyway. This is brand new in the package. $12.95 is what it sold for. $12.95 plus shipping. All right, next item is another comic book from that large comic book lot. This is a Star Wars. I'm sorry, my thing is covering it. It is Dark Horse Comics issue 1 of 2. I did not have both issues apparently, or I would have wadded them up, I would think. This was in the early stages of my comic listing. I probably have number 2 and probably should have wadded them up, but this is number 1. Sold for $4 plus shipping. I'm probably not going to be doing too many $4 comics because I have plenty of better ones in there. So I'm going to wad them up by genre and maybe by title. But this one, inexpensive. I'll probably get away from doing these in the future. But $4 plus shipping. All right, next item is a classical record set. Now these can be sneaky valuable sometimes. So the temptation at yard sales is to skip past these. This is one of the thicker sets that has multiple records. I got a ton of these in a record buy, and this one was decent enough to list by itself. I've sold some as lots through Marketplace and things because they're just too heavy to ship. This one right here sold for $15.95 plus shipping. I was very fortunate. They were extremely complete and in really good condition. The box has some issues, which I disclosed. Excuse me. But the records themselves are super clean. They have their original sleeves, and they're just in really nice shape. So don't always pass these things up. Now, we don't want to pull out our phones if they've got 100 different ones and start scanning them, but if they're willing to let them go for 25 cents a piece, if you buy them all, it can be worth it, because usually you can at least flip them for 50 cents in lots. But then again, this one went for $15.95 plus shipping. So don't always pass up classical music. There are some that are worth really good money if you get the right ones. So do a little research on that if you have the time, if you're interested in buying records. I have a ton more that I haven't listed that I've comped out that sell for between like $8 and $15 to $20 that I'll get listed, because they do sell. I've sold quite a few on eBay. All right, so those are my sales. I said I had 15 and I didn't lie. So I'm going to show you a couple other ones that sold that I packed up before I actually videoed them. This is a different format for me. Usually I do a video and then I pack everything at the end, but I decided to do them as I went today because I have a lot of other things to do today and I wanted to, maximize my time. So here's a couple more sales. All right, so thank you very much for watching. I'm hoping to do more consistent videoing. My shed is a mess right now, so I'm not really going to pan out to show you. It's really not that bad, but I have a lot of stuff in my basement that I've been listing. My temperature in my shed right now is 46 degrees, so it's actually not that bad in here because it's fairly mild outside, which is great because it gives me the opportunity to work out here and be somewhat comfortable. It's hard to be out here when the temperatures are in the 20s and it's only 31, 32 degrees in here. I'm basically using a small space heater, which hopefully isn't making too much noise in the background. But that's what I've been using. I'm doing a lot of my listing inside, but I need to get focused. And I hate cliches, and New Year's resolutions are one of the biggest cliches out there. But for my reselling business, I'm up from 2022 in 2023, a decent amount. I spent a lot of time listing through the first 9 months of the year. The last 3 months, I haven't really listed a whole lot. So I need to refocus myself. If I want to increase my sales for 2024, I'm going to need to list more in 2024. Again, it sounds like a reseller cliche, but that's how you get sales. You list, you sell. It's a proven fact. So thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. I'm going to hopefully post this video later today and hopefully make a few more videos over the course of the next week showing sales and just talking about a few things. Maybe talking about my 2024 reselling goals. What are your goals? Put them down below in the comments. Again, if you are not subscribed to my channel, and I know there's not a ton of content to watch yet, but I hope to be more consistent in 2024, go ahead and subscribe. It just takes a second. It doesn't cost anything. And it just shows a little bit of a support for a small reseller like myself. So thank you again for watching. I hope that everybody enjoys the rest of 2023. I may or may not have another video before the end of the year. But if not, Happy New Year, everybody. And I hope everybody is safe and healthy out there. Thanks a lot for watching.